Hey everyone, Green Effect Podcast, Season 2, Episode number 4. Solo, once again, all good. Saturday night, doing this podcast. We're going to talk about all these new little rules we're hearing about around, the OSFI qualifying rate thing and what we know so far. We're going to talk a little bit about COVID frustration, how I'm feeling on things, what I'm trying to do to cope with it. Okay. Listen, if you want a great therapy session, this is a great episode. Without further ado, here we go.
Welcome to the Green Effect Podcast. Finance, life, business, and everything in between. And now, your host, Stephen Green.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Green Effect Podcast. This is Season 2, Episode number 4, and going solo yet again this week. Hey, listen, if you want to be on this podcast, it's your first step to podcast superstardom. Let me know. Love to have you on. Let's get right into Episode 4. So, I'm sure you've all heard the news. We're looking at some stricter mortgage rules coming up relative to qualifying. So OSFI, which is the Office of the Superintendent of Financial Institutions, has announced that come, I believe, June 1st, a lot more details to come on this, but come June 1st, the rate in which we qualify you for a mortgage will be increasing. Looks like about 50 basis points maybe in that range. That's about 0.5%. So qualifying rate, for those of you who don't know, is the rate in which we qualify you for a mortgage. So, for example, there's a qualifying rate and a contract rate. If with the contract rate, your rate that you're really going to be paying is, let's say, 2%, just as an example. The rate that we calculate the mortgage payment at to be able to determine whether or not the mortgage is affordable at the qualifying rate is, as an example right now, 4.79. So even though you're not paying 4.79, we do have to qualify you as if the rate is 4.79. So one way that the government can slow the market down is obviously changing the rules, kind of changing the rules as we go, just as you were in the playground when you were younger. So if less people can qualify for a mortgage, less people will be out buying houses. So there's a bit of controversy around this. Is this the right thing to be actioning and looking at? Because really this is going to hit at the first-time home buyers, right? These are the people that can't find anything anyway. So I'm really not 100% sure on the context here. I'm not sure we should be hitting the first-time home buyers. They're struggling as it is. Let's face it. Incomes have not at all caught up to the price of housing, right? Incomes have maybe gone up a few percent here and there, whereas housing's gone up a lot, okay? Exponentially gone up. So, more to come on this. We don't know all of the details around timing and default insured or conventional or whatever the case may be, but more to come. But finally, someone is getting involved with this crazy market. And I think in general, just switching topics here, in general with, I look at Kitchener-Waterloo, Cambridge, really southwestern Ontario, there's a lot more inventory coming on the market right now. And I'm hoping that the supply and demand issue improves. And that's really what the issue is right now. There's just no inventory. And I've said this on a previous show, like my wife and I we're pretty stereotypical where we're not selling and we've updated our home instead. So, hopefully with this increased inventory coming on, maybe some rule changes, heck, we might see offers with conditions of financing. That might actually happen again. So, have a look. Let's see what happens with this market. Hopefully it slows down a little bit because I think it's good to have competition. I think it's good to have some business practices around, again, lower supply and demand. It's all good business. However, When it goes to an extreme like it is right now, and listen, banks are at 3 times the volume right now than what they're used to. Banks, lenders, everything's taken forever because the system is just rammed. It's not totally healthy. When we've got first-time homebuyers who can't find a thing, or they're just gambling and hoping for the best, that's not good, right? Now, if you own property and you're getting ready to sell something, heck, jackpot, you just won the lottery. But again, big picture, long-term outlook, it's not healthy if this keeps going on that way. So, changing topics yet again. So, is anybody else, and I may have talked about this before, but is anybody else just on edge? Like, I mean on edge. I feel that way. I'm starting to see that internally as well, just through partnerships and business dealings. Even I got upset with the city of Kitchener in an email where my wife and I had our furnace replaced very recently, and I've been waiting almost a month and a half for a rebate, this high efficiency furnace rebate that we got. I find myself just unloading on email, and it's probably not the right thing to do, but is anyone else feeling this way? I'll tell you what I'm trying to do, because I think everybody that I run into has some degree of cooped upness, okay, with this now part 3 of lockdown, here in Ontario. And I don't really want to go down the road of my opinions on lockdown and lack of vaccines and lack of, a lot of stuff. But I will say lockdown part 3, I think, has become the biggest challenge. And here's what I've tried to do. Actually, I did it today. As I sit here on a Saturday night recording a podcast all day today, I saw email coming in. And you know what? Hey, I'm lucky. Knock on wood, I'm busy. It's a good thing. However, there's something to be said for shutting it down and just trying to almost get your wits about you. All day today, I got some great stuff done today. Everything from going to my chiropractor, which that is allowed, by the way, doing some work in the backyard, just some repairs that need to be done, made a fantastic dinner for my family, sat down, had dinner, and I relaxed a little bit. There was email coming in. It was happening all day long. But I made a choice today, and I had to just relax, because honestly, folks, if you don't do this sort of thing, you are going to snap. And I've been almost there. Thank goodness I have great people around me. I have a fantastic assistant. I'm just lucky. But I will say, you have to manage yourself. And this is what I'm doing, because honestly, this lockdown now, when I see, I don't know about all of you, but when I see on TikTok or social media, or even when I'm there at Zehrs, or our local grocery store here, and one section, so when you go down the food aisle and there's like this little thing that sticks out attached to the shelf, and maybe it's like ballpoint pens in the middle of the kitty litter section. When I see that is covered by plastic because it's a non-essential thing, I'm like, really? Is this where we're at? That sort of thing just puts me over the edge. And I think everyone's at that point now where none of this even makes sense. And I'm trying my best not to go down my opinions on COVID, but when I see Walmart, half of Walmart is taped off, or Home Hardware, no one's allowed in the store. Okay, I have to throw this comment out. I said I wouldn't, but I'm going to. How much of Amazon do the politicians own? Because we are almost being forced to use Amazon for our non-essential services. Like, we're killing off the big business. I don't even know where to go with this, folks. I mean, listen, again, if you want to come on this show, defend one point or the other, or just rant with me, please come on this show. We can talk about this together and just, hold hands and go through therapy, because yeah, I've had it. I've absolutely had it. And I don't want to discount the tragedy that's out there right now with regards to this virus. I get it. I'm there. Where I'm going with this is, it's not me discounting the virus. It's just not believing anything anymore, right? What is going on with our government and getting things done and locking things down? Nothing makes sense anymore. And honestly, here's almost the way I see it. If the virus doesn't kill you, depression, anxiety, frustration, do I need to go on? That will. And I think that's where I'm frustrated. Okay, that feels a lot better for me to say that. Having said that, if anyone wants to come on and defend one or the other, or heck, like I said, rant with me, let me know. Love to hear from you. All right, that's it for now. Like I said, it is Saturday night. I'm going back to the couch. If you want to be on the show, you let me know, and I'd love to hear from you. We'll talk to you soon. See you next time.
Thank you for listening to the Green Effect Podcast. Subscribe to this podcast on iTunes or Google Play so you catch the next episode. And don't forget to leave a review. Much appreciated.